Hi everyone, Lori Block is here with Om Sweet Om Yoga in Northern Wisconsin. I'm here today to talk a little bit about what you might want to do when you get up in the morning. And this is actually what I sometimes do when I get up in the morning. So I'm not talking about, a really huge 30-minute, 60-minute, 90-minute yoga practice here. Just something to get you going, and this can be really helpful for people that are maybe a little bit crunched for time in the morning. So I'm just going to do a couple rounds of a kind of a modified or a variant rather of a typical sun salutation, and I'm going to go very, very slowly to give the tissues time to stretch out. So if you're at all like me, you don't really want to move particularly fast in the morning, and you don't have to do that. You really just need to get yourself moving. So this is me in the morning. I haven't even combed my hair yet, so we're just going to get going with a couple sun salutations and give your tissues, including your fascia, not just your muscles, but your fascia and also your brain, just a little time to kind of work its way into it. So we'll start here in a basic mountain pose. You can have your feet about hip distance apart, toes forward. Just kind of loosen up anything that feels like it might be a little stiff, which is pretty typical in the morning. A couple nice breaths here. Get yourself centered. You might even choose to set an intention, not just for your practice, but your entire day. As you breathe in, we're going to send the arms up to the ceiling somewhere, nice and slow. Breathing out, the knees will bend, sit bones will lift, and we're spilling forward here into a standing forward fold. And rather than just moving on right away to the next posture, I'm going to hang out here in a standing forward bend for just a brief moment. You might choose to actually inhale, lift up just part way, re-lengthen the spine, and as you exhale, work your way back into it. You can do that any number of times. Some people might like to even just sway the body a little bit back and forth. And eventually, we'll inhale halfway up again to re-lengthen. And as you breathe out, the hands are going to find the ground. So bend the knees as much as you need to for that to happen. Finger pads first, then the first knuckle, and just kind of place the hand down. And we're going to take a right leg back to a nice deep lunge. So you might choose to drop the back knee here. There's nothing wrong with that. Do try to draw the low belly into the body and up toward the head to, again, wave some length into the spine and literally make room. If you feel like you have no room in this hip crease, you might try taking the left leg a little bit out to the side. Just keep the thigh bone and the kneecap tracking with the toes. So again, a few nice deep breaths here. Allow yourself to release into it. And eventually we're going to inhale and prepare and let those hands find the ground again. If you walk your foot out, you might want to wiggle it back in. And as you breathe out, we're going to send both feet back to a downward facing dog. Heels can be up, knees can be bent. You might even find that your head is a little bit in front of the shoulders. As long as your sit bones are lifting back there, so your low back is in neutral, you're going to be fine. So softening through the neck and shoulders. You might like to actually bicycle the legs a little bit. Again, it's a slow motion. You don't have to be in a race here. We're just getting going. And with your next inhale, you can lift the heels and soften the limbs a bit. Keep your shoulders supported, but let the knees and elbows bend if you can. As you breathe out, your low belly is going to pull into the body and up toward the head, and your legs will press out behind you, moving you forward to a high plank. If you don't like this full motion in the morning, take a breath in and drop the knees. So as you breathe out, you can start to lower the elbows a little bit, maybe as far as 90 degrees. And as you breathe in, you might take a low cobra. In fact, you might even choose to set it up more like a Sphinx position and just kind of be here for a little bit. So gradually letting the curve in the low back deepen and just gently opening up the chest and shoulders. You could, of course, take a more active cobra with hands on the ground and pressing down to see if your body wanted to lift a little bit higher. So your low back should stay pretty comfortable here. You might feel just a tiny bit of compression, but the idea is to make all your resistance mild to moderate, not really huge. Go ahead and exhale down. Get your hands down by your lower rib cage. Tuck the toes under. And we're going to push our way back up and right back into that downward facing dog. So this will loosen up any compression that did happen in the lower back. We're going to lead with the right leg here as we pull it forward. So again, let your low belly, your deep core line, let that area draw into the body and up toward the head, and use that to try and pull the right leg forward. So leading with the right leg on this first round, again, you might like to drop the left knee or shuffle the right leg a little more out to the side. In any case, wave some extra length up into the spine. Some people might like to have blocks under their hands as well, so if the floor seems too far away, you can lift them up. And preparing to move here, as you breathe out, press down a lot with this front leg and maybe even your hands. Shift your weight and pull that left foot forward. Inhale right away and lengthen the spine. Just wave a little extra length in and exhale. Go ahead and release down. Your knees can absolutely be bent, and we just want the sit bones to be lifting behind you. You might even choose a little ragdoll here with hands catching opposite elbows. The weight of the head can hang down also. And when you're ready, you can inhale halfway up to just neutralize, and as you breathe out, press the legs down, low belly in and up, muscles behind the low back spine will finish the job and open the chest, and that's when you can breathe in, stretch the arms up. You might even choose to just stay here a little bit, maybe take a little side-to-side motion, kind of pull those arms across. And exhale, releasing back into your mountain pose. We're going to do this one more time, and let the left leg lead this time. Breathing in, sending the arms overhead. Exhale, soften the knees and fold forward. So if you feel yourself moving a little bit more effectively, you can just start to move a bit faster here, but you're welcome to hang out in any of these positions. So we'll inhale up just part way for length. Breathing out, plant the hands down, leading with the left leg here. It's going to step back to a lunge. Drop the knee this time. Breathe some length into the spine, and as you exhale, start to work your way into a more upright position. So hands might just rest on the front thigh here. We're looking to keep the pelvis pretty neutral rather than tipping forward, so this is going to open up more in the front of the hips and the thighs. If you feel a little more into it, you can actually send the arms up overhead. Go ahead and release down, reframe the front foot, get a good foundation through the hands, and stepping back to your downward facing dog. Breathe in, prepare, lift the heels, soften the limbs as you breathe out. Two front hip points are going to pull into the body and up. Those muscles behind the low back spine will balance and reopen the chest again, just to a nice plank position. As you breathe in, you might still drop the knees, no problem there. And as you breathe out, lowering down, maybe all the way, maybe part way this time, and coming into more of a cobra. If you feel like you're really opening up, you can lift yourself up to an upward facing dog. And as you breathe out, maybe dropping the knees if you need a little help, or you can leave them up. Maybe tuck the toes under as well. And pressing back to your downward facing dog. Breathe in and prepare once again. And as you exhale, left leg's leading. We're going to pull that forward, step it just inside the left thumb. If it doesn't make it, grab it, give it a little boost. Drop that right knee down, lengthen the spine. Press down through the legs and work your way up to a kneeling lunge here. So again, pelvis is trying to find neutral so we can really open up through the right hip and the thigh. Arms can reach up if that feels appropriate for you. And we'll exhale.
hands down. Let the left knee, or the right knee rather, lift up behind you. Start to shift your weight forward here, and we'll pull the right leg forward. Inhale halfway up for length, and as you breathe out, coming into a nice standing forward fold. You might feel these motions getting deeper at this point. And softening the knees for a safe roll up, we'll inhale halfway up. As you exhale, support the spine as you lift. Breathing in, sending the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, allowing the hands to just come down. Maybe resting a moment at the heart. Or maybe you need to just move on right away. But if you have a few moments, you can either sit or lie down for just a couple minutes. And again, set a really nice intention for yourself for the day. Just take a few moments to essentially be quiet and be aware of your thoughts and your feelings, your emotions. And that will set you up for a really, really beautiful day to come, to just get that awareness right away in the morning. So, namaste and have a great day. Pretty sure coffee's waiting.